Imagine having one of the most famous mothers in the world dreaming about your daughter's ultimate televised wedding, while the daughter herself isn't even rushing toward the altar, and the man she loves reportedly wants something completely different: privacy. That is the fascinating tension surrounding Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet right now. Before we get into what may really be happening behind the scenes, make sure you subscribe to HOLLYNEWS TV, turn on notifications, and tell us in the comments, if you were Kylie Jenner, would you choose a huge celebrity wedding watched by millions, or a private ceremony with only your closest family and friends? Because this story is not simply about whether Kylie and Timothée will get married. It is about two completely different worlds colliding. On one side, there is the Kardashian-Jenner empire, where major life events have often become global entertainment moments. On the other side, there is Timothée Chalamet, an actor whose public profile has exploded while his personal life remains something he has repeatedly appeared determined to protect. And right in the middle is Kylie Jenner. A woman who grew up in front of cameras, built a billion-dollar beauty empire, became one of the most recognizable celebrities on the planet, and has spent much of her life watching private family moments become public conversations. So what happens when Kylie's personal approach to marriage does not perfectly match the expectations surrounding the Kardashian-Jenner family? That is where this story gets interesting. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet have been one of Hollywood's most talked about couples since their relationship first became public. Their romance brought together two enormous fan bases, two completely different celebrity cultures, and two very different approaches to fame. Kylie is a reality television icon. Timothée is one of Hollywood's most celebrated young actors. She comes from a family whose lives have been documented for years. He became famous largely through films, performances, premieres, and carefully controlled public appearances. And now, the question of marriage has become impossible to ignore. But there is an important distinction that often gets lost in the headlines. Being in love does not automatically mean being ready for marriage. And being ready for marriage does not automatically mean being ready for a wedding spectacle. For Kylie, the idea of marriage could involve much more than simply putting on a dress and walking down an aisle. She is a mother. She has built her own businesses. She has experienced relationships under an extraordinary level of public scrutiny. And she knows better than almost anyone what happens when a private decision becomes entertainment for millions of people. That may explain why the idea of Kylie being in no rush to get married is so significant. For years, celebrity culture has trained audiences to expect a predictable sequence: dating, engagement, wedding, baby. But real relationships rarely follow such a perfect timeline. And Kylie appears to understand that. Now, add Kris Jenner to the equation. Kris Jenner is not just Kylie's mother. She is the legendary matriarch behind one of the most powerful entertainment families in the world. She has spent decades understanding publicity, branding, television, media attention, and the enormous commercial power of a major Kardashian-Jenner family event. So it is easy to understand why the idea of a massive Kardashian-Jenner wedding would be exciting. Think about what that kind of event could mean. Kylie Jenner, Timothée Chalamet, the Kardashian-Jenner family, Hollywood stars, luxury fashion, A-list guests, global media coverage, millions of viewers, and potentially one of the biggest celebrity weddings of the decade. For someone like Kris Jenner, that is not merely a wedding. It could become a cultural event. But here is where the story takes an unexpected turn. The person getting married would not be Kris Jenner. It would be Kylie. And Kylie has every right to decide what her wedding, if and when it happens, should look like. That creates a fascinating conflict between expectation and personal choice. On one side is the enormous machine surrounding the Kardashian-Jenner family. On the other is a woman who may simply want to experience one of the biggest moments of her life without turning it into a television production. And then there is Timothée. This is where the contrast becomes even more dramatic. Timothée Chalamet has become a global movie star through projects such as Call Me by Your Name, Dune, Wonka, and other major productions. His career has placed him at the center of Hollywood attention. But fame does not necessarily mean wanting every part of life to become public. In fact, for many celebrities, the opposite can happen. The bigger the career becomes, the more valuable privacy becomes. And that is particularly important when a relationship involves Kylie Jenner. Dating Kylie means dating someone whose name can dominate headlines around the world. A simple dinner can become a news story. A public appearance can become a viral video. A photograph can trigger thousands of theories. And a wedding? A wedding could become an international media event before the couple even walks down the aisle. That is why the reported desire for privacy becomes such an important part of this story. Timothee may be comfortable standing on a red carpet surrounded by cameras. But a red carpet is different from a wedding. A movie premiere is part of a career. A wedding is personal. And that distinction matters. Now pause for a moment, because this is where many people may misunderstand the situation. Wanting privacy does not necessarily mean Timothee does not love Kylie. And Kylie not rushing toward marriage does not necessarily mean the relationship is in trouble. Those are two very different conclusions. In Hollywood, people often assume that if a couple is not constantly announcing major milestones, something must be wrong. But sometimes, the opposite is true. Sometimes two people are simply trying to build a relationship without allowing the public to dictate the schedule. And that may be exactly what makes Kylie and Timothee's situation so intriguing. Their relationship exists under extraordinary pressure. Every decision can be interpreted. Every photograph can be analyzed. Every absence can become a rumor. Every appearance can become evidence in someone else's theory. That kind of environment can make a normal relationship almost impossible. Now imagine adding a wedding into that equation. The pressure would become enormous. There would be speculation about the location, the guest list, the dress, the designer, the ceremony, the Kardashian sisters, the Jenner family, the Hollywood celebrities, the security, the television rights, the possible network, the streaming platform, the exclusive photographs, and, of course, the inevitable question: would the wedding become another Kardashian-Jenner television event? That is the question that makes this story so compelling. Because Kris Jenner understands the value of a huge family moment. Kylie understands the value of controlling her own life. And Timothee appears to value something even more difficult to obtain in Hollywood: privacy. Those priorities do not necessarily have to destroy a relationship. But they can create difficult conversations. Because marriage is not only about the ceremony. It is about deciding what parts of your life belong to you and what parts you are willing to share with the world. For Kylie, this may be especially complicated. She has lived much of her life in front of an audience. Millions of people watched her grow up. Millions followed her transformation from a teenager into a beauty mogul. Her relationships became headlines. Her pregnancies became major media stories. Her businesses became global brands. Her family became one of the most documented families in modern entertainment. So perhaps the most surprising thing Kylie could do now is choose something that does not become a spectacle. Imagine the contrast. A massive celebrity wedding could attract cameras from around the world. But a private ceremony could be almost invisible. No giant television production. No endless live updates. No public countdown. No carefully constructed reality TV storyline. Just Kylie, Timothee, their families, and the people they trust. That possibility may be exactly why the marriage conversation has become so fascinating. And here is the teaser you should keep in mind as the story continues. If Kylie eventually decides that she does want to marry Timothee, the biggest question may not be whether she says yes. The biggest question could be whether she allows the world to watch. Because those are two completely different decisions. A bride can say yes to a marriage and no to a televised wedding. A couple can celebrate privately while millions of people speculate outside. And that distinction could determine what happens next. There is also another layer to consider. Kylie Jenner is no longer the same person she was when the Kardashian-Jenner family first became a global television phenomenon. She is older. She is a mother. She has built businesses. She has experienced enormous success. And she has also experienced the downside of living under constant public observation. With age and experience, priorities can change. What once seemed exciting may eventually feel exhausting. The idea of millions of people watching a wedding might sound glamorous. But imagine trying to enjoy an emotional family moment while knowing that every expression, every guest, every detail, and every second is being analyzed online. One person will criticize the dress. Another will criticize the guest list. Someone will question why a celebrity was invited. Someone else will ask why another celebrity was missing. Social media will debate the venue. Fans will compare the ceremony to other celebrity weddings. And suddenly, what was supposed to be a personal moment becomes a global conversation. That may be precisely what privacy is designed to prevent. For Timothee, the stakes are equally complicated. His career continues to place him among Hollywood's biggest young stars, and his relationship with Kylie has made him an even bigger target for celebrity coverage. But a private person dating one of the most famous women in the world faces a unique challenge. He cannot completely escape attention. The relationship itself generates attention. That means the little privacy that remains becomes even more valuable. And Kylie may understand that better than most people. After all, she knows what it feels like to have cameras follow major moments of her life. She knows what it means to have strangers debate her relationships. She knows how quickly a personal decision can become a public narrative. So perhaps the question is not whether Kylie wants marriage. Perhaps the real question is what kind of marriage she wants. And that is a much more complicated question. A wedding can be enormous and still be meaningful. A wedding can be tiny and still be unforgettable. A ceremony can be televised and still be deeply personal. And a private ceremony can become one of the most powerful moments of a celebrity's life precisely because nobody else was invited to watch. That is why the reported difference between Kris Jenner's vision and Kylie and Timothee's approach is so fascinating. It represents something larger than one family. It represents the tension between celebrity culture and personal boundaries. The Kardashian-Jenner family helped redefine what it means to turn personal life into entertainment. But the next generation may be asking a different question. What happens when you have the ability to share everything, but choose not to? That may be the real story behind Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet. Not a dramatic breakup. Not a secret feud. Not a confirmed wedding date. But a couple navigating what it means to build something serious while the entire world is watching. And if marriage eventually happens, it may not happen on the schedule fans expect. It may not happen with the announcement everyone is waiting for. It may not come with a massive television special. And it may not even look like the traditional Kardashian-Jenner spectacle that people have imagined. Because Kylie has something she did not always have when she was younger. Choice. She can decide when she is ready. She can decide who gets invited. She can decide how much the public sees. And she can decide whether her wedding becomes entertainment or remains a personal memory. That is a powerful position. But there is still one major question hanging over everything. What does Kris Jenner ultimately want? For a mother and manager who understands the power of television better than almost anyone, the temptation of a spectacular wedding would obviously be enormous. A Kardashian-Jenner wedding involving Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet could generate massive worldwide attention. It could dominate social media. It could become one of the most talked about celebrity events in years. But attention is not the same thing as permission. And publicity is not the same thing as happiness. That distinction may be the most important part of this entire story. Because ultimately, the wedding belongs to Kylie and Timothée. Not the fans. Not the media. Not social media. And not even Kris Jenner. If the couple chooses marriage, they will have to decide what kind of future they want. If they choose privacy, that does not make the relationship less important. If they choose a public celebration, that does not automatically make it less genuine. The real issue is whether the decision is theirs. And that is where the story reaches its payoff. The most dramatic wedding in the world would be the one everyone expects. The unexpected twist would be Kylie Jenner choosing something much quieter. No giant television audience. No endless cameras. No pressure to create the perfect Kardashian-Jenner moment. Just two people deciding how they want to begin the next chapter of their lives. And perhaps that is why Kylie being in no rush to get married could actually be more meaningful than any engagement announcement. Because rushing toward the altar would satisfy the expectations of the outside world. Taking her time means she is listening to herself. For Timothée, protecting privacy could mean the same thing. It does not necessarily signal distance. It can signal boundaries. And for Kris Jenner, the challenge may ultimately be recognizing that the biggest family moment does not always have to be the biggest television moment. If Kylie and Timothée eventually walk down the aisle, the world will undoubtedly be watching. But maybe the most interesting possibility is that they will decide exactly how much of that moment the world gets to see. And until that decision is made, every engagement rumor, every public appearance, every family interaction, and every headline should be treated carefully. Because there is still no confirmed wedding date to point to. There is no reason to turn speculation into certainty. And there is no need to invent a dramatic ending when the real story is already fascinating enough. Kylie Jenner may be one of the most famous women in the world. Timothée Chalamet may be one of Hollywood's biggest stars. Kris Jenner may understand celebrity television better than almost anyone. But behind all those headlines are two people who still have to decide what their relationship means to them. And perhaps the ultimate test will not be whether they can survive the spotlight. It will be whether they can create a life that still belongs to them when the spotlight becomes too bright. So now the question goes to you. Would you rather see Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet have a massive Kardashian-style televised wedding watched by millions around the world? Or do you think they should keep their wedding completely private and celebrate it only with their closest loved ones? Drop your opinion in the comments. And if you want more breaking celebrity news, Kardashian-Jenner updates, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet stories, Hollywood relationship news, and the biggest entertainment headlines, subscribe to Holly News TV and turn on notifications.